Hey guys, just going to take a minute to tell you about our first podcast sponsor, Pin Golf. Everybody knows the most important thing while you're playing is knowing how far away you are from the hole. Engineered with advanced tech and tour-level accuracy, you will never second-guess a club choice again. The new Ace rangefinder has the same performance as all of the premium brands you'll find online or retail, but for a price that won't put a dent in the wallet. Go to www.pinnedgolf.com and use the promo code SCRAMBLE at checkout for $25 off your order. That's $25 you can use towards our jacket picks. So go to Pinned Golf and get yourself an Ace rangefinder today and use promo code SCRAMBLE. That's www.pinnedgolf.com, promo code SCRAMBLE. Pinned Golf, always dialed in. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans of golf, those of us who were a little bit let down from the Open, the guy who took a nap on his couch in the middle of Sunday and woke up to Colin Morikawa in the lead instead of Louis Oosthuizen. We are excited to have you here for episode 15 of the Scramble podcast. As always, the gang is all here, except for that 1 week I wasn't. Cam, Tim, Justin, talk to me, fellas.
What's going on?
Hello.
It's a big episode. You guys got some big stuff planned today.
We got a big episode for you, which Tim will tell you about in a second. But before that, tomorrow, we're getting into I'd say a little bit of Ireland, Great Britain golf for us tomorrow.
Yeah, the weather will be a factor.
It will be a factor. We're playing in the White Claw Open.
White Claw.
Which I'm sure by the time you are all listening to this, you've already seen our posts on social media about it.
Yeah.
It's going to be rainy. It's going to be wet out there. It's going to be stormy. And you know what it's also going to be? It's going to be a goddamn birdie fest from the Scramble podcast.
Yeah, I'm predicting 18 under, I think I told you guys.
You did. You mapped the whole thing out.
The whole thing.
Tim sent us every hole by hole. He's like, hole 1, par 4, birdie. Hole 2, one of them was like short par 4, eagle.
Yeah. I mean, you got to capitalize. It's Scramble.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's going to have to deal with the same weather.
A hole in one was also factored into our score.
That's right. Sure. And he put in parentheses, Tim.
Yeah, I'm going to get a hole in one on the 13th hole and win $25,000.
There's a $25,000 hole in one, and you will see us all in Vegas if one of us hits
Palazzo.
that. I did look into private jets. They're a little more expensive than
the prize for the hole in one.
That is very expensive.
Which makes me realize, like, when these golfers are taking PJs, like, they're dropping $60K.
It's a lot of money.
Just to get there.
But they definitely have, like, rates.
They have deals, too. Like, I know Ricky's has, like, a sponsorship from NetJets.
Yeah.
So,
those NetJet commercials piss me off. They're basically making it like an Uber commercial, but for planes, and it's 98% of the people watching this cannot use
afford
that.
Yeah.
I inquired as a joke about how much a PJ would be from Boston to Vegas, and it was close to $60,000 for one and like $48,000 for another.
Yep.
So that's a no thanks from me. But we're excited to play. We'll be getting some content out for you guys tomorrow. It'll be wet. We're playing with our good and dear friend Mike Kelly. I'm excited for it. It's in Plymouth, Mass. The rain's going to be a massive factor, but we're going to have fun.
It's a hometown day for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Home course. We'll be drinking some White Claw.
Cam will have some overnight guests.
That's right. We're having an adult slumber party.
Yep.
Yes, we are.
I'm excited
Don't
about
drive. Don't drink and drive.
That's right. Stay at a friend's house and maybe take the next day off from work, which I definitely should have done.
Yeah.
One of us definitely did.
So that'll do it.
All right, guys. We just had a major. They didn't deal with any bad weather. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about our favorite golfer, Bryson, and what he did this past week to make everyone love him even more. We had some issues with the tournament coverage. People were tweeting about it.
A lot of people were tweeting about it.
It's no secret. We're going to talk about that. And then we are going to interview our first professional golfer, James Nicholas, on the Corn Ferry Tour. Very excited for that. And then at the end, as always, we're going to be our bets for the upcoming tournament, the 3M from TPC Twin Cities. And that's what we got for you.
Hell yeah, folks. And to start that off, we will get into the Surf and Turf Coast to Coast recap for the 149th Open Championship at Royal St. George's. Welcome to the Surf and Turf Coast to Coast recap of the 149th Open Championship at Royal St. George's Golf Club. Golf fans, we've been spoiled. We had 6 majors in a year. As a result of COVID-19, which stinks, which is sort of coming back. Is COVID-19 back a little bit, I'm seeing?
No.
Apparently.
Some places it is.
No. And it was a cap off here in the Open, and the next one we get is not till April.
Yeah, it's like
which
over
stinks.
200 days away.
Yeah, that stinks. But it's no secret if you've been on the internet at all in the last 2 days, Colin Morikawa, champion golfer of the year.
I think we were all wrong there. We went big 0 for 3 on Colin.
No, I didn't bet him.
I didn't bet
him at all. No, I didn't bet against him. I just didn't have him at all.
I think we were all though like stay away from Colin, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think we did.
Well,
say
the
that.
problem became it played so easy that the short game wasn't a factor. He was throwing darts.
Yeah.
So
he didn't miss greens to have to scramble.
no.
And
he also led the field in strokes gained putting, which he will most likely never do again.
the saw grip. He's got the new saw grip.
If he
and it's just automatic from
becomes
within
like a
20 feet.
Top 50 putter, he's gonna be the best player ever.
He's already on the same trajectory as Tiger Woods.
I'm legit scared if he figures out how to putt week to week. He might be the best golfer that's ever played this game.
He is.
Crazy.
Well,
I mean, he's 177th normally, which is not good.
No.
That 177 in the world, that guy on the official world golf ranking, he plays on the Corn Ferry Tour. So that's not even PGA Tour numbers.
No.
So I don't know what happens in 1 week. The greens were too easy. That guy, that crazy man, the mad scientist looking greenskeeper, he didn't do it.
No, he ruined everything. No Open championship has greens that you can just stick it that close. I mean, if you hit it that close, it's usually because you judge the distance right and you let it roll up to the hole and it rests there. You're not throwing darts at the pin with a little bit of backspin and getting it to check and sit right next to the hole. That's not what the Open Championship is about. And I know I saw it on Twitter, they were watering the greens in the fairways, which makes the course exponentially softer, and there was no wind. So this was basically just a normal PGA Tour event.
Yeah.
Like,
more or less.
in the days leading up to it, guys were being interviewed like, spin isn't necessarily a factor unless you're around the green already, and it absolutely ended up being, which is
a major factor.
wild. Yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't enjoy.
I mean, Morikawa ends up holding Jordan Spieth at 13 under, John Rahm and Louis. Look, and now he moves to 3 in the official world golf ranking, and now DJ's back to 2. John Rahm's back.
Okay.
I think now he'll probably stay there, right?
I hope so. I mean, say what you want. Maybe he didn't have the best 3 days. But when that guy decides that he's like, oh, I forgot how nasty I am at golf.
Dude, what?
He can just rip birdies. Rip them off.
My fade round strategy almost worked. And then he went berserk on Sunday.
He went nuclear on Sunday.
I mean, when Adidas makes Colin Morikawa's pants, they got to leave. It's like a fancy hotel, Justin. They got to have a big ballroom. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, man.
Because I think the stones on this kid to go in and not be leading on Sunday, he's the first golfer in history to win his debut at 2 different major events. First, he's the 8th golfer to win 2 majors before 25. Secondly, he's being compared to Ben Hogan, third of all, as far as ball striking goes, who's arguably the best ball striker of all time. If you don't know who that is, folks at home, give him a quick Google. When him, Wolf, and Victor all came on the tour, they were like, who's gonna be the guy? It looked like it was Wolf out the gate. Victor, as of late, that rhymes, and now Colin.
Yep.
And it's now, and maybe you guys disagree, I don't even think it's close now. I think he is by far the best of the 3 of that rookie class, and by far the best golfer under 25 on the planet.
Without question.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's doing it in the biggest tournaments is so much harder.
I know. It honestly is so impressive. You can make an argument for Victor, but he's not there with the putter.
Yeah.
Of which Colin all of a sudden is now there.
I mean, Harding Park was no joke for that Open either.
Nope.
That driver he hit on 16 on the par 4.
Oh my God.
Again, stones. Why hasn't he been in our stones conversation?
I know.
Because he has them.
I honestly, I mean, I'll say for myself, like I was never a huge Colin Morikawa fan. Like when we were watching that first one, I was kind of annoyed. I was like, well, I definitely had money involved, but I was like, who is this kid? Like, get him out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I definitely wasn't rooting for him. Like I didn't have any skin on Louis. I was like, this guy, come on, just get a dub. And then just watching it, I wasn't rooting for him until he got the trophy. And I was like, wow, he's actually like a really good person, too.
He might be the best person.
Just instead of saying like, thank you, he instantly goes to the top amateur.
Yeah.
And just doesn't talk about himself at all. I loved that.
Yeah, he's awesome. I mean, I wasn't rooting for him. I live bet Spieth.
I
think
did
a
too.
few of us did.
We all did.
Plus
Oh, I don't
400
know.
after I saw him on Thursday. I was like, there's no way he's going to lose this tournament.
Thursday, I took him, and then after he bogeyed both on Saturday. I did it again because it was back up to 400.
And like, do you wonder if was he watching the leaderboard? Like, did he know Jordan was going low?
Yeah.
Did he know? Like,
Yeah.
do you think? Because that makes all his putts that he hit even more impressive. And like Rahm, he finished T3, right? Is that what it was? T3 or T4?
No, he was 4. Solo 4. Yeah.
Solo 4.
Rahm was right there.
But he lipped out like 3 or 4 putts that could have made him in the race. That's got to make you nervous.
Yeah.
Because he's right there. Like, some of the putts he should have hit for sure that he missed.
Colin said, and we can talk about this one now. So he said in one of his interviews after that, that play he had on 15. So he pulls that approach way left into legit no man. So off a slope on the green and then into horrible fescue. And that's when I was texting you guys. I'm like, this is it.
Yeah.
He bogeys this, back door's open for Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he knew when he hits one out of that thick stuff, which could have easily been bladed over or underneath chunked.
He had a great lie.
Fantastic shot to like 10 feet. But then the stones to hit it. And he said he knew when he hit that on 15, he was like, I'm in the driver's seat now. Because he knew that Jordan, he kept watching. Because those scoreboards are massive on every hole. You can't miss them.
you can't miss them.
The big yellow scoreboard.
I love their scoreboard. I love the open scoreboard.
It's so nice looking.
I know.
What's better, that one or Augusta?
I like the yellow. Personally.
too.
I like the yellow.
I think I like Augusta. I don't know. But again, he pulls out his massive beanbag, hits that par putt into the driver's seat. And Jordan needed him to bogey there, and Jordan then had to birdie 2 out of 3 coming in. 2 holes that ate him up the day before, which was,
That's a cost him.
it's 100%. And we'll talk about that. But I'll put it this way: Colin Morikawa, if he's a top 50 putter, look out because he might be the second coming. His speech after was awesome, like we touched on. He's an absolute joy to watch grow on and off the course. I know it sounds like cheesy and stuff to say because we're like older than him, whatever it is. He's so mature. I'm watching it with Dana at home, and she's like, how old's that kid? I'm like, I actually guess. And she was like, I don't know, 30? I'm like, no, 24. It's 2 years out of college.
Yeah. And his whole career has been just a rapid ascension.
Yeah.
Like, top ranked amateur. Won 4 or 5 tournaments in college over the best young kids. And then he just goes right into the PGA, and he's already won 3 in 2 majors.
I think too.
Like you said, he's 24.
Yeah. The mental game with him is a big part. His coach was interviewed, and he was basically like, a lot of the mistakes that golfers make is they stand over a golf ball and say, like, here's what I don't want to do. But what Colin works on with his coaches, he stands over a golf ball and thinks, all right, this is what I want to do. And that he doesn't think about, the negative possibilities. And clearly that works for him.
He's very stoic. Like he's
Super stoic.
They asked him like, "Are you calm underneath?" And he was like, he probably didn't know how to say like yes because that sounds really cocky. But he was like, I don't know. I try to think of like the next shot and how I'm going to play it and stuff like that. The whole time, the back 9, you would have thought it was fucking the John Deere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. And he didn't even bring all of his coaches. Like he didn't bring his family to bring his coaches, and they asked him, they're like, why didn't you bring? He's like, I don't need everyone
Yeah.
all the time.
Here's the frustrating part, though. He literally said last week after the Scottish Open, basically, I don't like links golf.
Yeah.
And then here we are.
No, he did say, he's like, if I didn't play in that, I would have had no chance here.
Yeah.
He's kind of designed for it, no?
Now that you watch it.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't true links golf.
No, it wasn't.
That wasn't true links golf. Colin, good win. That wasn't true links golf. St. Andrews will be a rude awakening next year.
To put the winner to bed, the champion golfer of the year, he was 2 over through his first 6 on Saturday and 4 back of Louis. So that makes the win to me, which is why I think I did enjoy it.
I liked it.
Yeah, because it was pretty momentous there. He ripped off 8 birdies in his last 30 holes, 4 of them on Sunday, and he didn't have a single bogey.
It's insane. Yeah, no bogeys.
No bogeys.
Do you remember the 2016 Open with Stenson and Phil?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that? This felt a lot like that, where Spieth was doing no wrong. Spieth was doing no wrong. In the 2016, Phil Mickelson was doing no wrong. He was like 18 under. Just Heinrich was just one step better, and that's what Colin was. Heinrich was not missing shot. I think he finished that year minus 21. Phil was minus 19, and then like third was like minus 10. But that's what this felt like to me.
Yeah. I just felt like Jordan wasn't in it on the back 9 because Colin was playing so well.
But he didn't play bad.
No, he wasn't. But I was like, how is
shot
he going to make up
66 on a
3
Sunday.
shots?
If Colin played normal golf, that's Jordan's major every day of the week.
When did it become a 2-shot lead? What? I'm
before the back because Louis melted down like late front.
Louis was out after the third hole.
He was out. He was out when he signed up for the tournament because he can't play on Sundays.
He ends up shooting +1 on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Rahm, Spieth, and Colin all shoot 66.
Damn.
Which is pretty good. I mean,
And then I know we're not touching on Rahm. One more thing on Rahm. Did you see the thing where he has a club foot?
yeah.
Did you see that?
So what do you say? His right foot is inches shorter.
His inches shorter. He's got like a short foot. That's why he doesn't go all the way back.
I didn't really notice it when he walks. Do you notice it?
No, I don't notice when I walk. And then like I didn't notice he didn't go all the way back in his swing. And then I like listened to it and watched it. And I'm like, oh yeah, he only takes like a Tony Finau, like a half swing.
I wonder why that is because he's like leaning on it.
Yeah, he's like, I can generate more power if I don't go all the way back on it.
Oh, interesting.
So he just stays tight and just lets it rip.
God, what an interesting guy. Lastly, Rory's game seemed to be the talk of the tourney here, but it was Jordan Spieth who took over the TVs. He literally ran off the course on Saturday with his putter right to the putting green. And the funny part was he was trying to hit like 4 or 5 footers and he was missing them, all on camera.
Oh God.
It wasn't looking good. And then he gets out of the car on Sunday and he had his putter with him. So he brought it back to their house. And he told a funny story. I don't know if you guys saw this about when he got back to their like house on Saturday. So it was him and Annie. And he looked over and he was like, "Is there something in here that I can break?" And she was like, "What?" And he's like, "I need to break something like right now." And she was like, I don't think so. And then the guy was like, "Did you end up?" He's like, I can't talk about it. Like, we'll see what happens. So he was literally
Trashed the house.
so mad. He wanted to like smash something when he got back.
Whatever he did, it worked.
Well, he missed 17 and 18. Let's count those as pars. Guess what?
He wins.
Tied. Yeah, he maybe wins.
Playoff. There's so much more pressure on Colin.
But different. I think he plays Sunday differently if he's even with Colin to start the day.
Probably.
I also think Colin wins that playoff.
I don't know.
Only because Colin has no emotion. You know what I mean? If Jordan hits a slightly bad shot, the edge goes to Colin.
I'm never going to agree to it, but
We talk about how Morikawa was like hitting the 10 footers, the ones that he had to. I mean, Spieth was pouring in like 20 to 25 footers.
I know. If it was on the green, there was a chance.
watching him play is like, all right, when he has a 20-footer for par, I almost feel more confident than if he has like a 5-footer. He looks
100%.
like he just freaks out on those small putts.
He reads it longer than like a 20-footer.
Which is what I was waiting for Colin to do because he stinks at that distance too.
So bad.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Again,
Yeah.
there is just no chance that he putts like that ever again in his career. I refuse to believe it.
It was wild.
It was insane putting.
But for Jordan, the driver is consistent all week, which was pretty scary. The putter was the letdown, which is the normal Jordan we know. He's statistically still the hottest golfer in the world. He's now up to 14. He started the season at 82, 93 if you count the end of last year. He says this week was good enough to win a major, but the 2 bogeys, it held him back. He says overall he's pleased with his game, but he's still improving it. And the last thing I'll say about him is, hey, Under Armour, what the fuck are you doing with those polos?
Gross. You're never going to grow.
You got to commit. Like Nikes are either like you love them or you hate them, but they're out there and their players are wearing them. Under Armour, you can't even get the people to commit to wearing.
Did you
them.
notice that Thursday and Friday and Saturday, actually, some of Saturday, he kept his pullover on.
Yeah.
And everybody else was guns out. No one was wearing pullovers.
He just doesn't want to badmouth his brand.
I'm an Under Armour guy.
He's a good guy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm an Under Armour guy. Like I prefer Under Armour. It's great quality stuff. They've never been.
Some would say, don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Yes.
You
Wise. That's wise.
It's another major and another Louis Oosthuizen insanely high paycheck, but no trophy. You guys, I mean, open it up to emotional comments because I don't know if this guy can do it anymore.
It's just, it's only mental. There's no other excuse for it.
because
None.
he's so good at golf.
He was a robot until Sunday.
Yeah.
Robot.
Well, 'cause then
He didn't
guess what?
bogey the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Completely bogey free.
Nasty.
Then the pressure came. And he freaked out like he always does.
I like him. I
mean,
feel bad.
I still like him, but like, come on.
I feel bad.
Is
Poor
he
Louis.
ever going to finish
No.
the lead?
Never.
No, he's not gonna.
And that was his chance because this wasn't in America.
No, I know.
I think he's going to hit a drop off after last week.
Should we like start betting against him?
I almost bet.
I did.
I bet against him
okay.
this week too.
Wow. Okay.
Mental.
he doesn't have stones. We'll say that. His 54-hole lead, and he can't convert it. He looked pretty lost on Sunday. His ball striking and putting were insane. His putter was pretty automatic from 12 feet and in until Sunday. The internet was aflame with tweets about how they wanted him to win, and it was his tournament. But here we are on Tuesday, and he was in third.
It's amazing, too, like his swing. It looks like he doesn't generate any power, but it's so...
It's a beautiful golf swing.
It's one of the smoothest.
You're like, how did this guy just hit that ball that far? I don't know.
He's such a likable, he's not even an asshole either. He's like a
he's
nice
a great guy.
He's got to switch from UPS to FedEx.
Here's the thing, though. Like
what Brown can't do for him.
Brown can't do it for him.
His critique was he couldn't win in America, and then he gets a real shot to win overseas in a major, and he doesn't win there. So what do you fall back on now?
I mean, you're up 2, or no, is it up 3? Is it 14?
He was 12 under,
12.
and the next was 9 under at one
was up
point. I
3.
don't know when that was.
But Colin finished at 11.
Okay, so
he had a one-shot lead.
He had a
going
one-shot
into
lead on
Sunday.
Sunday. Damn, dude. Brooksy keeps it close all week. Comes back with a nice 65 on Sunday. At one point, when he
in
went
contention.
in, he was like 2 back. I was like, wow, this sneaky might not go anywhere. Imagine. His round on Sunday was robotic again.
Just like Rahm.
Sick. It was
When
nasty.
when the best players in the world decide that they want to be the best players in the world, they eviscerate courses. I don't
was
care
so
what the course is.
It almost sucked because that was when we were waking up and watching the first groups go off. Brooks is on 12, so I'm like, damn it! I didn't get to watch how good it really was.
I know. The Canadians faltered.
I mean,
yeah,
is
no,
Mackenzie Hughes going to be a guy that just plays good
No.
at majors all the time? He did it again.
No, fluke.
And Corey Connors is back. None of us
No,
dipped into that
I
pool,
know.
huh?
I know.
His
Although
numbers
Sunday
got
wasn't
so
really
long.
back.
I know.
But still,
Sure.
good week.
Yeah.
Good week.
His numbers, I mean, you were getting him as tournament top 3, top 4 favorite, and then he fell back to I don't even know what he was outright.
He was probably 75. I bet you he was in the 75 to 85
So
to
maybe-
1 range.
When he's not playing this week, but next time he's back in, probably some good value on Corey Connors.
He's gonna win.
A surprising week out of a guy that we all sort of crapped on, which was DJ. But the weather helped him.
Big time.
He didn't deal with any wind,
No.
and he didn't deal with runny greens.
And he was still spraying it all over the place.
Yeah, he struck his way around. He dealt with it. He was in better shape. He bogeyed 4 straight on Sunday though. That hurt.
Yeah. Every time I looked at him on the screen on Sunday, he was hitting out of I don't even know.
I have a little more faith in him though.
I do.
Coming in because I think that's just confidence. Look, I just had a what is he T8 or T9 something like that.
No, I actually do think if you look at the numbers too, he actually had a good ball striking week, and if that comes back around, what killed him this week was his putter overall. Really, what killed him was his putter, which is normal, DJ.
Yep.
But now that his driver and his irons are starting to come around, you can.
Yeah, you can see it.
He's,
I mean, he's number 1 in the world for a long time for a reason.
yeah.
So, on our guy Cam's guy, I should say, Bobby Mack finishes 8th with some tough bogeys on Sunday, but he was dialed in coming into moving day and Sunday.
I enjoy watching him play golf.
T20,
T20.
2.5 to 1.
Thanks.
Lock.
World number 1, John Rahm, we talked about, and some missed cuts here that we need to touch on, which was Patrick Reed, which we were good on. I think we were not with him.
Me and you were not with him.
Which was great. Thanks for the money on Friday. Just
Yeah.
a little earlier than Sunday. Can't lay.
That hurt.
So many birdies.
Dude, he
He had 10 birdies.
the holes that he birdied were sick, and then he would give up on a hole.
Yeah.
And also, is that me and Cam's fault? maybe?
Absolutely it is.
Yeah, it definitely could be.
Maybe I'll take a break from betting him for a little while.
I'm not going to touch him. He
Probably
stinks
won't
again.
touch-
Yeah, no, he's mine.
Can't
Nah,
win.
he stinks again. You can have him. You can have him back. You can have him back.
Gary misses the cut. Jason Day. Matt Kuchar, and that's his 7th straight missed cut in a major, for those of you keeping track at home.
And I think in
That's
general,
not
he's been
good.
stinking.
Phil, who legitimately shot an 80 on Thursday, which was tough.
He
Because he was
was
featured.
literally-
He was featured. I was watching him.
What a miracle that PGA Championship was.
He was in legit last place.
Top 20 on the PGA Tour again. I mean, that was crazy.
Guido
That hurt my soul.
and my wallet. Yeah,
That hurt my soul. He was there. He just fucking bummed a couple holes. He'll be fine.
he'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Terrell Hatton, the Seagull, and we got a first round WD from Willie Z after he hurt.
Oh, well, we were right. We were all right about that.
Yeah,
We all said bet against Willie Z. I didn't think he was going to
tournament.
Didn't think he was going to quit.
Was he 1 under? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Oh, that'll do it for
It's
our
because he
rack
got
up,
super
fellas.
embarrassed. Sorry, I just cut you
No,
off.
go. No,
It's because
go.
he was super embarrassed about that friggin' putting video that came out.
Oh, yeah.
What a horrible stroke that was.
It's like
It came back like 6
forward.
inches. It was
Yeah.
he had like a spasm.
Yeah, he's not a putter.
No.
That's one way to put that.
I went 11, 10, and 1 for 6 units. The matchup guy is back. That was the only thing. You guys warn me every week, and I still do it, but I suckered. The top 10s didn't hit, and I reached on a lot of top 20s that didn't hit. So that could have been a big week.
Yeah, I lost 2.5 units. My frivolousness with the outright picks really cost me there because that was 4 units lost on the outright.
But it's okay because you're up
now I'm only up
70 units in the last 3 weeks or
now
something.
I'm only
So
up.
that's-
Now I'm only up
yeah,
73.
that's-
It's tough.
I don't know what that's like. Tim?
I hated that conversation. I won.
Why?
I won.
Be happy for our guy.
Yeah, what the hell?
I know I am happy for you. It's just like I'm looking at my own record, and
I'm just toying with outright units just for fun.
well, that's the thing. You put like 4 outrights. I won less than half a unit, but I won,
That's right.
and we had Spieth in contention. So
Dude, I was saying this like, if he wins, man, our show is exploding.
Yeah, we're up like 100 units.
yeah,
More, maybe.
big time.
Because that would have been, because I kept doubling down, man. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't, I would have told you eventually how many units I had put on him. But it was bad. So
Yeah.
basically, let's put it this way: what I won wiped out what I put on
Okay.
him live.
Oh yeah,
That's
I was
fine.
down
Now,
on
we would have been, the
big
show
time.
would have been up 200
Oh
units.
my God,
yeah.
yes, so many. Because it was initially at 15 plus 1500, then it was plus 450 and plus 400.
And all pre-tournament, we all had him
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Before.
It suits him, man. Can't count him out on a links or over there, I guess. I
No.
think he's just a
Loves it.
Yeah, loves it.
Yep.
Our jacket picks, I believe we were 1 for 3. Mine was Louis top 20, which was nice because after Friday, I was like, that'll hit.
Yep.
Really close on your guy, Matthias.
Very close.
Very close.
I was very
I think he was
bummed.
2 strokes.
2 strokes. I was not happy. He was close.
That would have been a
No.
nice one because it was like a reach and like a no name.
Yeah, and it was like 3-1.
Tim, tell us.
I mean, look, I was looking real good on a very bold lock for a long time until Bitch Boy made a hero back 9 stretch on Friday and then did absolute Saturday and Sunday.
That was.
Why make the cut if you're going to act like that on Saturday and Sunday?
You have those rare moments where you actually laugh at your phone, and when you said, "Hey, thanks for making the cut," doing fucking nothing with
Yeah,
it,
no,
I
just
laughed so
bullshit.
hard.
He's talking about Bryson, if you guys didn't figure that
I
out.
had Bryson to miss the cut. That's not a lock.
To be honest with you, no, but like, kind of a smart bet.
I
You
loved
weren't
it.
far off.
Yeah, you really
After
weren't.
the driver comment on Thursday,
Oh
I
my
said,
God.
wait a second. There's no way. There's no way. Karma, there's lots of things operating against him.
As a man, he had to make the cut after saying that.
Yeah,
Why?
he didn't. Honestly, he did not play well. Like
Because
the pars and the birdies he was making were like scrambled eggs.
Oh, if it was bad weather,
See ya.
he was done for. No, but like if you come out and you say all that bullshit that he said and then you don't play well, you're just going to get doubly roasted.
yeah.
Which we'll talk about right now.
Yeah.
So, the obvious first topic of our general golf this week, before we move on to the our first ever guest, is Bryson ends his round on Thursday and says his driver sucks and that his mishits aren't going straight. Hey man, newsflash: when you mishit the ball, it doesn't go straight.
Yeah, if you ever played golf before, bud, come on.
It's
If my mishits went straight, I'd be on the Corn Ferry Tour.
totally preposterous.
Like even and then Peter, like do you follow Peter Finch on Twitter? He's like
Yes.
a golf guy.
Yep.
He was like, the biggest thing you should be concerned with here is that Cobra's attempting to make a driver that allows his mishits to go straight. Then golf is no longer fun.
Yeah.
If you could just hit it straight every time,
What is
golf
it,
becomes
fucking
very
a
boring.
transformer? So while he's swinging, it's moving.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like an active. Oh god, I'm trying to think of one of those like iRobot movies, like the little nanobots, the little nanobots on the face of the driver.
The Decepticons.
They just
Autobots.
shape. They shaped. Yeah,
Dude, like, I mean, the guy hit 4 fairways all day. You can't say that. It's not the in this case, it's not the Indian. He's saying it's the arrow. But
What do you expect? What does he expect when he's swinging the club that hard?
Exactly.
But it doesn't. He's again with the self-awareness. He has no fucking idea. Like,
zero.
Do you think it would have been okay if he hit 17 out of 18 fairways and he said that?
It would have been weird, but I think it would have been more okay if he hated it and he was still playing well.
Yeah. I think
Right?
it makes it look way worse that
He's got no accountability.
No,
None.
because at least if he was playing well, he could be like, I'm trying. It's not the best. I'd like something different, but I made it work.
Yeah.
Didn't make it work.
No, not even close.
I mean, and a guy that swings easier than him that hits the ball farther is Wilco Nietnauber, and he's not fucking complaining about his driver.
No, and he's like 80 pounds lighter and 6 inches shorter.
And he swings way smoother, and he doesn't need to, drink protein every day, bro.
Lift mad weights like with
Dude,
Tim.
Cobra Golf immediately responds, which was great. And they were basically like, it's tough to hear our number one guy say that.
It's disrespectful,
It
dude.
wa-
These guys are bending
They're
over
literally
backwards for
airing
you.
the commercial that like goes like through a course to different players. Then it just ends with him hitting the driver that he's shitting on.
The memes, Tim, you were on. The memes were
Timmy
good.
memes.
Timmy
I'm so
memes was
upset.
good.
That's like all I thought about all weekend.
The commercial that they have of everyone passing around our speed driver.
Yeah.
And then at the end he hits it and it's like, which driver sucks.
Yeah, the voiceover
I
that was
was
awesome.
dying. All the memes were great. I mean, I can only imagine how actually mad, that Cobra was. Like, that they
Yeah.
had to put out like a nice statement that was like, it's disappointing to hear. They were probably like, F this guy.
Yeah, I wonder how quickly that
Well,
contract's
you
gonna
heard
get
the
terminated.
Cobra spokesperson was like, it's like dealing with an 8-year-old.
It's not wrong.
I mean, he's not
That's the
wrong.
worst. So
And then-
let me ask you a question, though. This was a hot topic on Twitter. Is Patrick Reed now the second most hated golfer? Has Bryson surpassed him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's debatable.
I was a big anti-Patrick Reed guy, and now I think so, yes.
He's got to be. He's the biggest winner of
He's
the weekend.
loving it, yeah.
I
Fuck
actually
the
don't
trophy,
think
dude.
Patrick
People
Reed
probably
cares.
don't-
He's probably mad about it.
Patrick Reed?
Yeah.
No, he's. I bet
follow-
you.
He wanted to be number one at something.
Do you follow PGA memes? See
Yes.
the video they have, like the baton passing?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's true.
I mean, then Bryson walks it back with an Instagram. Oh, I was frustrated. They're the best team. They really helped me out. It's not the case. I need to hit it better. Whatever.
He also basically said what we talked about last week. Like, he's so focused on his goal that he just says things, and he's just like, I don't know. He doesn't think about
And
it.
here we are, another week of talking about this jabroni.
He makes headlines. He's gonna win the top
We're
prize.
helping him
I know.
win the,
He's
the
We should
thing.
stop this. We should
He's
stop.
gonna win the top
He
prize.
might be doing all this on purpose.
Yeah.
I know. He's not an
told you,
idiot.
long
He's a
game.
scientist.
Long game.
He's like, listen, all I have to do is be an asshole. I get the most coverage and I get
No,
$5
upset.
million extra dollars. Sure.
God.
Next topic in general golf here, you guys. The coverage. I mean, I was a little late to the party on Thursday. Or Friday when I was working doing something, and Tim's like, "Are you guys seeing this?" And I turned the TV on, and they're looking at like Bryson or Spieth's head while they hit putts. You don't see the ball.
At all. At any point.
I've always had, but the British Open has never been good with that.
TV.
But
you
what's
think?
why can we figure it out
Every other tournament does it.
for every other tournament?
And then, like,
Okay.
when they do show the ball, it was a wide shot
Yeah.
of the green, and I can't really see the ball.
I barely saw a single drive land on the fairway.
No.
The whole tournament, they're like, it's right here, and they pan into like a smaller part of the fair. I'm like, I still can't see it.
It was a disaster.
And also, like, they were better than the U.S. Open with the switching of the U.S. Open was horrendous with where you watched it. At least this was on NBC, on Peacock, and you watched the rest of it there. You didn't need to move.
I wonder if it's because like technically that's a European Tour event,
Maybe.
and then the U.S. Open's a USGA event.
It's got to be something where they get to Europe and they get over to England, and it's like something's different.
Yeah,
I mean, golf seems like the one mainstream sport that gets a lot of attention that has not figured out the best way to cover a tournament. Like, you have what other sport do you watch where you can't
it is
see
definitely
everybody
the
who's
hardest
playing?
though.
I'd like to.
Yeah, it is the most. You're right, but I
Yeah.
agree with you. It jumps around the most, yes. But you need to see.
I understand it's difficult to like film 120 some odd guys, but I don't know. It sucks that you can't see the guys you want to, especially from a betting perspective. Like, I don't want to follow on Shot Tracker.
I wanna know.
5 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
like me.
I hope they can figure that out.
Friday
What was the
watching
tournament
Guido.
they did where they showed every player?
Oh, that was awesome. I
don't need the
because that was an
commentary.
Amazon thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
What tournament was that?
I don't know
Yeah,
what that
but
was.
that was awesome.
It was great. You could literally watch anyone you wanted, Justin. You pop on
on
your
demand?
Literally pop on your TV, and the list of every single player was there. You'd be like, what do I want to watch?
All they have to do is partner with Amazon. Be like, yo, we need this. Jeff Bezos has got that money.
Jeff Bezos is riding his penis into space.
Yeah,
Dude,
The space
Which is
penis.
pro-
designed that?
which is probably launching from his new mega yacht.
Honestly,
was the designer?
I'm surprised that's not a thing already because not going to go down a rabbit hole, but real quick story.
No, go.
One of the co-hosts of The Linesman, Ryan Brennan, basically like 2-3 years back, like when we first met, was telling me that, he loved golf and he had always thought it'd be a cool idea to have some sort of golf streaming service where you could just choose either like by the hole or by the golfer and just have your coverage be dedicated to that as opposed to being like at the mercy of
the
that,
tourn- yeah.
of the tournament. And like his biggest thing was like, I know it'd be a great idea, but I just don't know how you would get like licenses from all like
They wouldn't. They're definitely,
you
like-
never would. So that's why it would take like an Amazon or somebody like that to be able to pull it
And
off.
they finally did. And I watched that over the featured coverage.
Yeah, I did too. I don't need the commentary.
No.
Most of it's bullshit.
I will say
anyways.
though, the one bright spot of the Open is that I love the English commentary.
Yeah.
Oh my
They're
God, it's so much
They're
better.
unbelievable, and because they're not afraid to like badmouth the guys.
No.
I love it.
they were anti Bryson.
Yeah,
Especially on Friday. They're like, this
good
guy
reason.
stinks.
it stinks.
Also, I was just thinking about the design of that spaceship. It's designed for penetration. They're trying to penetrate space.
Oh, we'll be here all week. They barely went. They like
Just the tip, you're saying?
they just put the tip in.
Just the tip.
Jeez.
Richard Branson beat him.
Dick
Big
Lance
time.
too. There was a 12-year-old kid playing in the U.S. Junior Am with his older sister on the bag. He's the second youngest kid ever. His name's Davis Watnowski. Figured we'd give him a shout out. The
Yep.
Junior Am is 15 and 16-year-old kids, and he's 12.
Just ripping it
So
up.
this kid's gonna be nasty.
Pretty good.
I imagine. They
Seamus-
canceled the junior Ryder Cup
I saw that.
because of COVID.
Damn COVID. Seamus Power wins the Barbasol after 6 playoffs. One of them, the first one, he chipped in off the green too.
Unbelievable
So
shot.
sick. The interviews with him, he's just. I put this in here. He's a good Waterford man, and he can freaking play.
Yeah.
Yes, he
Seems
can.
like an awesome
Is
guy.
he a nicer guy than Morikawa?
Dude, his interviews, I literally watched him like before we came in here. He's talking about how he's like, I don't really work. He's like, I enjoy what I do.
Yeah.
He's like, if I get to keep playing tournaments, like I can provide for my family. This is great. He's like,
Yeah.
I love golf and I love playing it. I'm like, all right, man.
I watched the exact same video and I was like, this guy, he's got it.
He's got it.
Yeah.
And the last news here before we head it off is Francesco Molinari, who was supposed to be representing Team Italy with your guy.
Guido.
Dude, he can't
So
play.
it's just Guido by himself? That's fine.
I don't know if they put in who's the next Italian. I don't know any Italians. Oh, is it?
Guido wears a different mustache.
What's the other Molinari? He's got
Eduardo.
a red polo, and a green
in
polo.
a green polo? He's just taking different shots. This is my brother Luigi Migliosi.
It's a me. So
Before we leave,
Yeah.
that Open officially marked the most open or most major starts without a win for Lee Westwood. That's 8. This is his 88th major start without a win.
Somebody tweeted that and didn't at
Jesus.
him, and he subtweeted like a popular, I don't know, commentator or whatever, and he added them like, "Can you at me next time?"
I saw that. Yeah.
Poor
Oh man.
guy.
Well, folks, that'll do it. We'll kick this off.
All right. Hey, now we have our inaugural interview with James Nicholas, the king of the Corn Ferry. Can't wait
It's
to.
a big nickname to give him.
That's an awesome nickname.
Yeah.
I just thought it.
Social
worked.
media wise,
Yeah,
he
he
is.
definitely is.
Yeah, and we're excited to talk to him.
Awesome.
All right, we'll kick that over now. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome on our first ever guest to the Scramble podcast. He's been someone we've been wanting to get on since the start of our show. He has very good style out there on the golf course, not to mention a good head of hair, playing professionally on the Corn Ferry Tour, 2-time Ivy League Golf Player of the Year, college football player, Scarsdale, New York native, James Nicholas. Thank you for being our first guest here on the pod.
What's up, boys? I'm honored. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Anytime.
I mean, a pro athlete, you guys. This
Yeah.
is
What a repertoire
This is a big
there,
deal.
James. That is some impressive shit.
We definitely want to get into some background, but I know Tim. We want to get right into golf right away. Tim has like a pretty relevant question for you, and because we know you can hit the golf ball, I think
Yeah.
this is a good one.
I think we read you're like 305 yards average off the tee or something like that. So the hot topic in golf right now, and something we've talked about for a few weeks now, is the length debate. Like, everybody's trying to add length. Rory's commented on it. Bryson obviously really brought it into the spotlight. But where do you stand on that? Is that something you're thinking about a lot? Is length a priority for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of I grew up just trying to hit as far as I could and kind of just find the ball where it was. I ended up in the trees a lot, when I was 14, 15, 16, and especially in high school golf. It wasn't kind of the best tactic because a lot of those courses are really short and narrow. Going up in New York, that's just kind of how the courses are designed. And I think it's if you can hit the ball long and in play, that doesn't mean necessarily super straight, then it's a huge advantage, right? I mean, Bryson's kind of showing how he can go out there, week in, week out and just compete and, at the top of the leaderboard. That does come at a cost. Rory even said that he wanted to kind of rein it in now. He got his ball speed up to 185, 186 consistently, but then he started losing his touch, whether it be, trying to hit that same draw or hitting his fades. He just didn't have that same control. So it does come at a cost. I think that the future of the game is distance. You see tons of kids, hitting the ball 330 plus yards on on average. So I think it's definitely something to keep in mind. Guys are just athletes are becoming golfers. I think is the best way to put it, instead of the typical, not out of shape, but just, golf body that you expect, that you've seen in the past. So it's definitely going to be an up and coming thing as younger kids, younger athletes start coming into golf.
Awesome.
I mean, kind of just going right off of that, James, you talked about when you were a kid, just smashing the ball, going and find it. So do you think that's your best strength? What are some of your strengths right now? What's some stuff you're working on?
Yeah, no, I think putting's probably my most consistent part of my game. I'm a pretty good putter. Wasn't always the case. I used to use a blade, and then, I just kind of was like, hey, I'm going to try a face balance putter with my coach. And he put me into the Spider, and I was like, hey, okay, kind of like it. Kept putting with it, started, playing well, kind of won a couple times in college with it. And I think that really changed my game. It wasn't the fact that my putting stroke was off, it's just my stroke wasn't matching my putter. And that's really important too, because a lot of people's, they'll go, hey, I'm putting bad, my stroke's horrible. But some people have tons of arc, some people have little arc, straight back, straight through. Everybody's stroke's different, so putters can fit you differently. For me, that was the biggest change in my game. I think I need to get more consistent if we're going to go to, what I need to improve most, more consistent with, they're not just less, big miss. I don't want to hit the ball on the hazard with an iron or hit it OB with a driver. I think I do that too often. Maybe once or twice a tournament round is when I, have a hazard ball or OB ball, and that's just 3 shots, 2 shots. Tournament is way too much. That's finishing 30th and 15th. So it's a lot of points, a lot of money up for grabs with those couple shots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. Do you think the biggest jump, because I know you talked about what you played as a kid, and then obviously you won multiple times in college, and now you're on the Korn Ferry Tour. Do you think the biggest jump into the way you had to change the way you played? Do you think that was from high school to college, or college to the Korn Ferry? I know that might sound like a stupid question, but obviously from high school to college, it's a completely different skill set of every player around you.
For sure. Well, I think the biggest jump in skill levels was definitely from college to pro golf. For me personally, I made my biggest jump in college. Playing in the Ivy League, we weren't exposed to all these top, level D1 schools. So I was kind of playing at a very small set of high D1 golfers, but I wasn't playing against the best. In high school, it was kind of the same thing. Growing up in the Northeast, I wasn't playing against the kids in the South who kind of play all year round and are probably represent the highest caliber of amateur golf in the country, whether it be Texas or Florida, California. So I think that once I got to the Korn Ferry Tour and professional golf, everyone's kind of that same level of good. Doesn't matter where you are, where you're playing, whether it be on the Korn Ferry Tour, the Forum Tour, the Latin American Tour, the PGA Tour. It's just such a thin line. And that's what I always tell people. I ask them hey, how many NHL players are there? Whatever, 700. How many NFL players are there? Probably 600 to 1,000 in the league. I'm okay, how many golfers teed up each week in the PGA Tour? And they're I don't know. I'm yeah, it's 148 to 156. So if you think about it that way, and you're playing on the second best tour, debatably in the world when it's the Korn Ferry Tour, and you can include the European Tour in there too, and then you got 3 tours, you're playing, that's 450 guys who are playing every single week, which is still smaller than any of those professional leagues. So it's such a hard, thing to just to explain to people who don't really follow professional golf. I'm hey, I play on the Korn Ferry Tour. Oh, cool. Good for you. That's awesome. I'm yeah, no, I mean, 28 under 1 last week, right?
Yeah.
If you shot 16 under par for 4 rounds, you finished 61st. So it's I mean, there's a lot of good players out there, and I think that's definitely the biggest jump is from, collegiate golf, which is very high end, but, professional golf is its own little world.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So my next question kind of goes off what Andy was talking about, strengths and weaknesses. Swing changes, for me, like, it's such a foreign idea to go into a tournament while making swing changes. So like Ricky Fowler, for example, right? He experimented with a new swing and new irons for, I don't know, a year or two, just went back to his old swing, his old mechanics, and he saw success there. How do you go about implementing any technical changes? I mean, golf is such a technical sport. It's got to be tough to go onto a course with, a new swing or something like that and have confidence that, you're going to succeed.
Yeah, for sure. I think that drawing from past experiences is obviously the easiest way to get past that threshold and to kind of, be able to trust in what you're doing. I personally keep a voice diary and a written diary with me. I have my voice memo is my phone. I keep it active all the time. Then I've got a diary that I travel with. And whenever I feel something or think of something, I write it down. I'm like, okay, what am I thinking? What kind of shots did this produce? How did I play that week? And I look back, like, okay, like in the past, when I'm starting to hook the ball, I start feeling this, whether it be take the club more outside and swing more left or stay taller, X, Y, Z. There's a bunch of different things that I try. And I look back, okay, like this really works. So I'm like, okay, hey, this worked then. And I played some of my best golf ever. So that kind of gives me the confidence, like, hey, I can just put this into play and really feel it tomorrow, even though I haven't had time to rep it in practice, and just have the confidence that it's going to work. When it's your first time, right? I mean, it's so hard to actually trust in it, but I think you just got to do it and learn what works best for you, whether it be drawing from past experience or just kind of going there and be like, hey, like, let's just forget about everything. No swing thoughts. I'm just going to swing, and wherever it goes, I'm going to play that shot. If you're going to hit a 30-yard slice every single time, aim 30 yards left and hit down the middle every time. It's like,
it sounds so easy, James.
Right there.
That's
you can play golf so many different ways. So just don't overcomplicate it. Just simplify, make it as simple as possible. And that's my biggest piece of advice.
Makes a lot of sense.
Wow. All right. I gotta start doing the voice memo thing.
Yeah, that you definitely learned on the Ivy League.
It's the easiest way. So I mean, like after last week, I shot 14 under or 12 under. I don't even remember, but finished 58. When am I from after? I'm like, hey, like this is the date, how I'm feeling, the course I just played, the par, what the winning score was, and then I just go through, hey, this is what I was thinking, this is what worked well, this is what didn't work well, and then I have this whole list of like voice memos to myself that I filter through before events, be like, okay, I want to listen to this one. What was I feeling during this week? What were the conditions like? What worked well? And then I can just kind of draw from past experience in that end.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
impressive. A lot of the guys kind of go. We'll keep with this theme here. Like a lot of guys in the PGA, in their interviews and stuff, they talk about goal setting, and they talk about how it's a huge part of the process. And I'm sure you've got a bunch, James. There's one ultimate goal, I'm sure. How often are you sort of reassessing? And are there some that don't change week to week, or some that don't change month to month? What's that like?
I think everybody has their, like you said, their ultimate goals, right? Whether it be super long term, the end of your career, having this amount of wins, this amount of majors, whatever it is, and then you've got your yearly goals, which you might set on January 1st, right, for your New Year's resolution.
Yep.
And then you've got weekly goals. So I try to break it down to my season. What am I trying to accomplish this season? I want to get a Corn Ferry Tour win. I want to have 7 scores under 65. I want whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Everyone's different. I think that breaking it down into long-term, mid-term, and short-term are the easiest ways to do it. And in my journal, I always write down. I don't say like, oh, I want to. I just say I will. I will win this year. I will, make the cut or whatever it's going to be. Using the will instead of the I want is really a good way to manifest success.
Yeah. Are you getting so specific as to like, I want a 1.5 strokes gain off the tee? I want. Like, are you getting into the stats there, or is it more sort of general for you?
Yeah, personally, no. That's just to me too confusing. I'm like, hey, like I don't want to think about that over to like, oh, I want to just like hit this fairway because I want to get my stroke. No, like the Olympics are coming. The long-term goal, like I want to be an Olympian, right? So that means you got to be in the top 3 in the world, basically, for a U.S. golfer. Mm-hmm. But that's super long-term. Nothing you do right now, or not. But the things you do right now are going to be small steps to that end goal. For me, it'd be, hey, this week we're in Springfield, Missouri. I want to have a top 10. Be like, I will finish top 10 this week. I will birdie the the par fives, whatever it is. Break that end goal down into smaller ones that you can achieve in this current week and what you're doing right now.
Seems like your mental game is
I am
on.
James. Goddamn.
I could take some notes from that.
It's hard. I mean, it's easier to say than actually believe it, right? So I mean, if you just keep on saying it, then you're going to end up believing it. And it's going to kind of just be a part of who you are. So that's what I'm trying to do.
I love the Olympian goal. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That to me, ever since I was in high school, I wanted to be an Olympic athlete. Whether it was playing hockey for Team USA or I didn't really care. I was like badminton, polo, whatever it was. I wanted to be in it ends up golf's my only shot right now, so I'm just gonna keep playing until hopefully I can achieve it. But that's to me, representing your country is the coolest thing in sports.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Long way from it, but
well, it's not. I guess it's not really a goal. But if I'm gonna steal one of your questions here,
go for it.
Because you talked about it. If there's one major, it's not an Olympian, but if there's one major that you could win, what would it be?
I mean, U.S. Open is the championship I won. I know a lot of guys say the Masters just because of the history of Augusta and the green jacket and everything. But I mean, it's your nation's championship. They played it last year. The course I grew up playing at Wingfoot, so hopefully we can get it back there in Wingfoot and I can win there. That's been my dream. So winning at a course I grew up playing would be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome.
That's sick.
The whole family in the crowd, everything there. Yeah, that'd be dope.
It is a cool dynamic too because of the qualifiers, and it's just different than the other majors.
Yeah, I ended up missing. I missed out on Torrey by 2 shots this year, so it's something that's very achievable. You just got to have one good day, right? It's 2 rounds, 36 rounds in one day. So it's hopefully one day I'll be able to achieve that.
Yeah, James. Actually, Greg was sending me your live scores as they were coming in on those qualifying days. We were pulling for you. We're big. We send your posts to each other all the time, so we're keeping up. We're keeping tabs. Oh yeah.
Hey, thanks.
On that topic, not to steal Andy's question, but
go.
Your social media presence is huge. Is that something you've been working on, or did it, coincidentally, it just kind of blew up? Because I know we follow you on TikTok, Instagram, and you have a ton of followers.
Yeah, thank you. No, I started in high school. One of my family friends got me a GoPro, the first GoPro ever, when I was I think 15 or 14 years old, and I took it on our family vacation, filmed everything, made a video, put it on YouTube, and then all of a sudden I was getting emails from these random brands I never heard of. They're like hat brands or brands. Like, hey, let's send you 10 hats and a sweatshirt. I'm like, okay, what's the catch? What I got to do? They're like, no, we just want you to wear it, have fun with it, maybe include in your video. I was like, cool, this is awesome. And then 2 years later, MBMT, the watch company, reached out hey, I want to send you a bunch of watches to wear in your video. And then I posted an Iceland video in collaboration with them, and it got over 1 million views. And then this music group called Bunt was like, hey, can you do a lyric video for us? And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. So I did one for them, and then just kind of blew up from there. I was like, okay, I'm going to keep posting, kind of keep growing my audience. And then now today, I think it's a really cool tool. Well, for number one, one of the main reasons I play golf is to just influence kids and to inspire, the younger generation to chase their dreams. And I think that having that presence on social media enables you to reach a much wider audience than you could if you didn't. Yeah, it takes time. Yeah, you're going to be like, oh, you're posting too much, not concentrating on golf, and you're always going to have haters. But I think that it's really cool creative outlet as well. When I'm on the road, right, I'm sitting in my hotel, kind of, doing nothing, just sitting in my Normatec boots, recovering. But being able to get on my computer and edit and be creative is a really cool way to just kind of escape that golf work for a little bit, and has all those other benefits that I was talking about.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think it's definitely been noted. Your experience, you go place to place. Your kind of second. I don't know if you call it your second Instagram, but your media, your videos one is awesome to watch, and sort of lead me into what I want to talk about with you next. Is every week you travel on your own, or you could say you're with your buddies. Every time you're playing on the Corn Ferry there, it could be grueling, I'm sure. What are some things besides the obvious make the tour that keep you going? Everybody gets so competitive. What's this like traveling to a new place every week? What keeps you going?
Yeah, I mean, for one, it's the dream, right? I mean, there's millions of people out there who wish I could, they'd be doing what I'm doing. And it's really humbling to hear that and get those DMs saying oh, you're living the dream. That's so cool. Yeah, but it's a grind, right? Just like you said, there's so many unseen things that go in, week in and week out, whether it be traveling, checking in Airbnbs, But to answer your question about what keeps me going, it's just the thrill of, being near the top of the leaderboard, and having that just one good one good week, that one good day where, you go lights out, everything kind of goes right, and you hear the crowd roaring behind you. You have all your friends and family texting you. You got people you don't even know, DMing you, be like, hey, dude, I'm following you. I just shot 79, today for the first time ever. And all that kind of love and appreciation that goes into it is really what keeps me going.
Oh, that's awesome.
All-time good guy. We gotta
I
find something.
know.
We gotta find something wrong with him, I think.
Oh, come on.
What were we just talking about? I had a follow-up question and I completely forgot about it.
All right, Tim, you
You
go.
were complimenting him. I just lost it.
All right, I have a lighter question on the lighter side. Favorite club in the bag? You said you're a good putter. Is it the putter?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably that's the club that's been in my bag the longest. So, I mean, I do like just taking out driver and ripping it whenever I can. But I would say putter. It's when you're on the green having a birdie putt, there's nothing better than that. So
a follow-up question to the putter: are you someone who changes your grip a lot? That's been another hot topic. I mean, Colin Morikawa changed his grip and just led the field in strokes gained putting at the British Open, right?
Yeah.
So, is that something that you do?
I think that a lot of people do grip changes when they start putting bad and start changing putters. It's great to just reset your feel, but I always go, I personally never change my grip. I think that my voice memos and my diary in the past, I've played and I putted amazing. So I go, whenever I'm playing badly or putting badly specifically, I go back to that. I'm like, hey, what was I doing then that I'm not doing now? And I just, whether it be, light grip pressure or looking at the hole a little longer. I think for me, it's those things that are changing the way I'm putting, not my grip. So I like to keep things the same.
Makes a lot of sense.
All right.
How goddamn good are the guys in the top of the PGA?
Yeah, we got to hear it from you.
You're an unbelievable golfer. For you watching it, is it just as ridiculous to you as it is for us?
No, I mean, those are the guys I'm going to hopefully be beating next year, right? So it's
fucking right.
Let's go.
Fucking right.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, everyone's always asking me who my favorite golfer is, and I'm like, myself. If you asked me that 2 years ago when I was an amateur, I would have said, JT, Rory, Ricky, all these guys. But now it's a different level. I think you got to have confidence in yourself, not to be cocky, not to be conceited, but you just got to have true belief that you can do everything that those guys are doing. And yes, the top 40, 50 players in the world are on a different level. But that's why they're on the PGA Tour and playing majors and winning championships. And I'm, on the Corn Ferry Tour working my way up. But from those 50 first guys to the guy that's ranked 1,011, which is where I am, the line is so thin. It's one shot around. It's one break around. It's one made more putt. So it's so thin. I think that what they're doing is just, you come out to a Corn Ferry event, watch it, and you'll see how good these guys are.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, so I'll ask one more kind of serious golf question, then we can get into. I know I want to ask you about your friend Charlie and about some hockey, maybe stuff you're good at. Last one, just for the audience. I feel like your average golfer, 99% of the people that watch and love golf, they don't understand what you go through every week. Can you describe to the audience, to us, a week on the tour, what you do beginning to end?
Yeah. So Sunday of last week, we were in Springfield, Illinois. It was a little bit easier of a week because we got to drive to Springfield, Missouri, but finished up in Springfield about 2:00, got in the locker room, showered, changed, plugged in the GPS, kind of packed my bags the night before, just got everything ready. Stopped in St. Louis at Whole Foods because there's no, good supermarket in Springfield, Missouri. Had to get the Whole Foods, they got all those pre-cooked stuff there. So it was really nice. Loaded up the car with groceries, drove to my hotel where I checked in on Sunday night, unpacked everything, got everything organized, went to bed, woke up at, 8:30 Monday morning, did a little workout, got to the course, checked in, did all my registration stuff. Then I practiced for about 4 hours, went on the course with two of my buddies, played 9 holes. Again, went back to the hotel, just made dinner, went back to sleep. This morning, woke up at 6:00. Went to the course, played an early 9. Then I practiced for another 4 or 5 hours, got lunch, came back here, Normatec, which is my recovery device, for another hour and a half, 2 hours. And then now I'm on with you guys. So tomorrow's going to look a lot like it's going to be a practice day. There's a pro-am tomorrow that I'm not playing in. So I'll just go to the course, get the green, speed of the greens, chip a little bit, and then come back here and really rest because I got an early tee time on Thursday. So it's kind of nonstop. There's no, days off. Yeah, I'd like to take an afternoon off or a morning off, but taking a whole day off is just, there's nothing else to do. So you got to get out to the course and really put in your work.
And everybody else is doing it. Like, you know, you're among guys that are trying to scratch and claw. So you got to get ahead.
100%. Jim McClain used to tell me, he would always text me randomly, like, hey, what are you doing? I'd be like, oh, like I'm whatever, doing this. He's like, well, there's probably somebody that your age that's working harder than you right now, so you better get it back out there, you know? And that was...
Oh, yeah. That's like Jocko. It's like my guy Jocko. So the two buddies that you played, are those other Corn Ferry Tour guys?
Yeah, so Brandon Wu and Chandler Phillips, who I played with yesterday and today, so two good buddies of mine.
Brandon Wu's like, was he like a $180 in the world, I think? Something like that?
He's playing well. I mean, he's definitely up there.
Yeah, he's a good golfer.
And he just locked up his PGA Tour card, so, you know, been playing a lot with him. He's obviously where we all want to be right now, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could, I mean, I would imagine that even adds to the drive. One of your good buddies on the tour gets his tour card, and you're like, I want to be next.
Yeah, you got, you know, 4 or 5 guys who've all locked up their tour card, and it's just, you know, I play with them every day. I'm just as good as them. They do, you know, things that may be a little better than I do. I do little things that are better than what they do. Yeah. So it's fine line. You just got to find those extra shots.
Cool.
Oh, well, you were talking about scratching and clawing. The other guys, you know, trying to like get their cards and stuff. And you went to Yale, so you're not familiar, or you are familiar with people trying to like get ahead and stuff. Do you think the Corn Ferry Tour is a little bit of a friendlier tour, or will guys go out of their way to like make you or like look better than you? Because I know I've had people in my family tell me they went to Georgetown, not Ivy League, but still a good school, where kids would like rip pages out of books and like do things so that they could get a competitive advantage or, you know, just any sort of slight edge over somebody else. Do you think is the Corn Ferry Tour like, are you guys buddy or like, because we know there was a fight.
Yeah,
there was a fight obviously not that long ago, and then you watch like the PGA Tour and everyone's like boys and they're just like hanging out. Like they all like all the Irish guys or the English guys like shot like combined 20 over. They're all just drinking beers, just having a good time.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, James. Like we can't really like, you know, are guys really putting each other up, or is it more like stick to your clique, your group, and like, you know, you want to be better than that guy?
Yeah. Well, the beauty of golf, it's such an individual sport, and at the end of the day, it's just what did you shoot, right? Did you shoot 68? Did you shoot 67? There's definitely some guys who are grumpy and want to be on their own and just want to do their thing, and they think that saying, you know, super serious and focused and, you know, whatever is going to make them the best. And to me, I don't think that's the case. And that being just, you know, a cool guy and having friends and being social and working hard alongside that, but not being, you know, too uptight is what makes you a better player. And there's not really many things you could do to like get that edge, whether it be, you know, ripping pages out of a textbook to like beat it, right?
I was just trying to think of an example.
You know, I mean, there are those stories where people like, you know, step in people's, not in their lines, but like, you know, step through the hole.
Oh yeah.
But nowadays you can tap swipe marks down. So there's no big, you know, I don't think people are doing that. For me, I've met like tons of cool guys out here. We're all, you know, I'm hoping that everybody plays well. I just hope that I play better. That's really how it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Damn. Attitude monster.
Yeah.
I know.
I really need some of that.
I know. So we'll get into, before we get into our list, we have 3 questions from the listeners that are sort of general about golf, but I mean, you were a hockey player growing up. I also was. Definitely not as good, but your friend Charlie McAvoy, what's that like having him on the bag for a week?
Yeah. So, I mean, I texted Charlie. We had played like maybe 3 summers ago when he was just starting to get into golf. We played the next summer again. And then I was like, hey, Charlie, like this coming year, you gotta come caddy for me. He goes, great. Let me know when. So they ended up losing in the playoffs. And then the next week, I'm like, Charlie, I'm in Orlando. Well, come caddy for me. He goes, let's go. I'm in. I'm like, oh, really? Like, yeah. Like, let me know when and where. So I said, okay, like come down Orange County National, book your flight. And I got an Airbnb, come stay with us. So he just booked his flight, came down there, you know, and it's just.
That's awesome.
He's one of my closest friends. It's you know, he's not, you know, Charlie McAvoy to me. He's just, you know, like same kid I grew up playing on the Express with. And we had a blast out there talking. We had a bunch of funny stories, but he's such a beauty and, you know, everything he does. And he's obviously a good guy to look up to because he's so successful at what he does. So if I can just kind of learn from him a little bit, I'll be okay.
We have heard that his golf game isn't exactly where his defenseman skills are at.
Well, it's hard to be one of the best, you know, golfers in the world when we're already one of the best hockey players.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm part of that, but he's made dramatic improvements since last year. We played a couple weeks ago, and he's definitely on the up and up.
Well, he's got you in his ear to give him tips.
That's right.
We're trying. It's hard, you know, when you have like you know, somebody telling you 30 different things, it's hard to listen to just one.
Are you a Bruins fan now?
Of course. I mean, I used to hate the Bruins. I think Charlie, is on the same page as me. We're all Rangers fans, and then now we're all Bruins fans, so it's great.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. So we can yuck it up with James about the Bees coming up for next year. All right. That's good. So when we get you on for a second time, James, we'll talk Bruins.
Perfect.
I want to get into what the listeners have to say. So we put it out on social media. We said, hey, we got a real pro golfer coming on the show. What are some we got a million questions that weren't serious, but then we got two that are pretty good.
Yeah.
Hey, fire away.
Yeah. So this question was, what are some of the best drills for a mid handicapper looking to be more consistent? I know so I only started golfing a few years back. And the one thing that I heard in my ear a ton was just practice your short game. That's where you need to shave most of your strokes. Now I'm at the point where my stroke around the greens, I'm all right, but where I lose all my strokes is off the tee.
Yeah.
So what do you think are some good drills for a mid handicapper?
Yeah, so if you look at my Instagram, James Nicklaus Golf, I have so many on my highlights. I got so many drills, and I've got tee-ball drills, approach shot drills, chipping and putting drills. So definitely recommend going to those and looking at them.
Awesome.
But
Okay.
I think that the biggest way, or the way that people can save shots from a mid-range handicap is actually course management. And that's it's not something you want to hear. You don't want to be like, oh, I want to lay up from 220 yards. But how many times do you guys have, 240 plus yards and you just take out 3 when you're like, I'm going for it. And you
Every time.
And you make a 9, right? And then you're like, oh, you guys shot 84 with a 9. I'm like, okay, yeah, well, that should have been 78, right?
Yep.
Right.
So
I've also
I think
never been eagle, so
but,
probably should be doing it.
if you're playing with your boys, it's obviously that one shot in a million that when you do hit it, you go crazy. So there's always that that kind of dynamic. But I think that if people just play within themselves, if you realize, okay, I got 200 yards from the rough and it's a 5-iron with water, why don't you just hit a wedge out to 100 yards, hit a wedge onto the green. If you make the putt, it's a par. If you don't, you're making bogey at worst. And you just take out the double and the triple. So that's saving 2 shots in one hole. If it happens 3 more times, you're saving 6 to 10 shots just in a single round.
That's a really good point.
That's hilarious. So I feel like we're at that stage where we still sort of have that bravado where we're like, all right, I'm going to hit a better shot than Tim. Or I'm going to hit it further than Tim. But lately, lately the last couple of times, it's almost been sort of course management, I've noticed. We all started off we all played this past weekend. We all started off par, and then someone birdied, and we all looked at each other. We're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, I've never
we actually have to
I've never made an eagle,
here.
so why am I thinking that that's the club choice I'm going to go with every time 240 out on a par 5? It just doesn't make sense. So that actually makes a lot of sense.
You don't have to aim at the pin every single time. 5 feet left of it is a pretty good spot too.
Yeah. Exactly.
I literally said that. I wasn't. They all hit it pretty close to the pin. I just hit middle of the green. I was like, that was easier.
Yeah.
not even going to try.
We got one more. So it's how often are you and the Corn Ferry Tour guys playing practice rounds for money?
Every time. We played a game today.
Let's go.
You got to keep things interesting. It's kind of boring if you go out there and you're just going through the motions. Today we it's not nothing crazy. We did a birdie game. It's $20 birdies.
Yeah.
Chandler Phillips made 5 birdies today, and me and Brandon both made 1. So he raked in the money today. So that's just kind of how it works.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I assume this isn't for $5K a hole, but I like that I gotta have something on the holes.
He won $160. He's
There's your dinner.
Exactly. He went to the Bass Pro Shops, and I think there's the biggest one in the United States this year. So he just went out there and had a good time.
Nice.
You gonna film there? You gonna film some Bass Pro Shop action with the GoPro?
I don't think I'll go. It's not my scene, but.
All right. So do we get into the fun questions now?
Oh yeah. All right, James. So we called this. We're workshopping this.
Yep.
I think it'll stick.
I like it.
So we're calling this the dog leg par 5. And what it is it's 6 questions because we're bogey guys. So it'll be 6 questions that we ask every guest that comes on the show. And I think these are pretty damn good. You guys start off. The first one is it's a couple. Go ahead.
This or that. All right. Beer or seltzers?
So you guys are I'm probably the worst person to ask to start this thing on. I don't even drink.
All right. Sobriety.
Okay.
That wins most
Sobriety
of the time.
wins. Okay.
Yeah. Pancakes or waffles?
I'm a water guy.
All right.
Pancakes, waffles, or French toast?
French toast.
Let's go. You guys didn't have that they didn't have that option in the initial selection. I added it at the end.
Pancakes and waffles are usually too dry. The French toast is a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm completely with you there.
Wow.
Team Brooks or Team Bryson?
I'm a Brooks guy. I think Bryson's just a little bit phony, but I mean, he's anybody who's as passionate for what they do, right, needs to be held. Is respect. Like, that's really cool that he trusts in what he does. But I think Brooks is just a real. You know, he says it how it is.
This one's probably more appropriate, giving our age. But Phil or Tiger? Who'd you grow up liking more?
Tiger. That's not even a question. I think.
Oh, let's go. I grew up in a lefty household there. That's why. I think I was skewed to Phil. I was skewed to Phil.
Nothing was better than turning on Golf Channel and Tiger just winning a golf tournament.
Yeah, it was awesome. But
it was like, how many is he gonna win by this week?
Yeah. And I didn't even play golf back then, but the Sports Center was Tiger Woods for a long time.
Well, remember that the Who's Now?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I did completely forget about that.
He
segment.
won that. He beat Brady.
That's like a perfect comparison for what you were saying, like with the new golfers. Like Tiger was like a physical machine, and Phil was just like a chubby dude.
Yeah.
With great touch around the greens.
But now Phil is in great shape now, and he's bombing it. He's hitting it further than he ever has. So it's like if he had done that when he was younger, who knows?
Yeah.
What's your take on the old guys? Sorry, this is completely off topic here, but the old guys are ripping it up this year.
Stu Sink's
like
Lee
10th
Westwood.
in distance.
Yeah.
Lee Westwood had a bunch of top 10s. Who else won? Somebody else won.
Lucas Glover.
I think old is definitely it does. The golf ball doesn't know how old you are, right? You can be 10 years old and shoot 68. It's like good for you, man. Like that's the same as a 70-year-old shooting 68. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
That's awesome.
But they don't win often. This just seems like this year they're just coming out of the woodwork.
It's an old guy league, man.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Tim?
this is a question I love asking people. So you get a dream, would kind of tailor it toward golf, a dream foursome for a night on the town. Can be literally anybody, dead or alive. 3 other guys. Who are you hanging out with?
All golfers, you said?
No. Doesn't matter who it is.
Anyone.
Doesn't matter. That's tough. That's something you definitely want to think about. I think being a golfer, you definitely have Tiger Woods. I think he's also shown that he knows how to have a good time. But let's see. Who else we got? I think probably go with a hockey player. I mean, I would usually say Charlie, but since he's a close friend, I'd probably pick someone who I haven't met.
You get to hang out with him anyways. Yeah,
it doesn't count.
I think Ovi would be pretty cool to hang out with. He seems like a pretty good dude.
That's a hangover.
Yeah.
Tiger.
Well, not for James. James is a water guy. So
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be the driver. And then one more. Let's see.
I think it's better to put you on the spot like this, because then this just comes natural.
It's tough because I can easily just say like another athlete, right? I can say like an actor. I don't know. I think that it's always going to be someone who you want to try to get a little piece of advice from, someone who's at the top of their sport or their business or what have you. But I think Tom Brady would be pretty cool.
Let's go.
That's a great answer.
I'm a Jets fan. I'm not a
That's
Patriots
unfortunate.
fan.
I'm sorry.
What he's done the past couple of years is just incredible. I think he's starting to loosen up too as a person. I've seen his documentary or docuseries, whatever that was, and it seemed like.
And he was just wasted getting off that Super Bowl boat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, James. How many strokes does good style on the golf course take off your score?
Oh, I mean, I think if you're a pro, it's probably 0.5, but if you're an amateur, it's got to be in the 3 to 4 range.
Oh, let's go. Easily. If
you look good, you feel good, you play good, it's just kind of all links together.
Oh yeah, that's the answer we needed.
Love that.
All right, Cam.
Best food at the turn. Be specific.
I'm a big go macro bar guy. I'm not a big hot dog or hamburger. I try.
He's so healthy.
My girlfriend's a health coach. I try to just.
Okay.
I got it pretty dialed.
All right.
Stepping onto the first tee, you get a walk-up song. What would yours be?
Princess of China has always been my walk-up song. I think that song just is too good.
Wow. Yeah,
That is a
was
banger.
Fast.
That was
great
quick.
song.
He had that.
Yeah.
They actually asked me that at the Wichita Open. They're like, we need a walk-up song for number 17. It's kind of a TPC 16, that part 3 of the stadium kind of hole. And I was like, all right, Princess of China. Started playing. Vibes started, going right away.
Love that.
Fairway? Did you hit the fairway?
Did you hit a dart?
It's a par 3.
It's a par 3.
I landed it close to the hole, but it ended up back. I almost went up on his lap, but I got up and down for par. So
there we go. Yeah.
All right. In the the sixth question of our dogleg par 5. This is for Bogey. There's a movie made about the life of James Nicholas. What kind of movie is it? Perhaps maybe who's directing it, and what would the name of it be?
Let's see. I think it would definitely be like it wouldn't be. It would be a docu-series, right?
Oh,
I think
okay.
I make all these like day in the life. I think the Formula One documentaries are really cool inside scoop on like how Formula One works. I think I really want to do that, but for golf. And I think that if we could do something like that and show, whether I'm being the whatever it is,
Yep.
The name is probably tough. Life Under Par would be like a common one. I think it might just be too cheesy, but I don't know. I think we probably should go with that.
I like it.
All right.
I was getting more of like a Mighty Ducks.
See, it would have been easy to say
golfer
sports
vibe.
movie, though. I
Yeah.
like that he went with like a.
Well, that's
something.
also like a character building.
It's all encompassing. It can take the travel aspect of it too, and the golf kind of just it goes all together.
Yeah, and like when people make second movies, they always stink. You can make a second docuseries and be really good.
Yeah.
True
good
safety. It's a good fallback.
Like Shrek 2 was not as good as Shrek 1.
Wasn't bad.
No, but I'm just saying. Well, James, that was unbelievable stuff, man. We really appreciate you coming on. Do you guys have any closing things you want to touch on before we, he's got to go back to editing videos?
I got one thing. We have a Scramble tournament tomorrow. No laying up, obviously. Any tips for us?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you said it first. I mean, it's a scramble, so no laying up. You got to go for those pins in a scramble. There's no middle of the greens there.
Right.
What do you guys think the winning score is going to be?
So keep in mind, it's going to be rainy here, and we're playing from the tips at Pine Hills in Massachusetts here.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, probably like 12, 13 under. You probably
We were thinking 13,
We were thinking 13, 14,
All
so
right,
that lines
so-
up.
Don't focus on that number. Just kind of get rolling after the front nine, see where you stand. If you got to push, then push. If not, just kind of keep doing what you're doing.
Love it.
Oh, we love it. James, seriously, thank you so much for your time, man. We will be in touch. We obviously follow you very closely. We love, we'll have to repost some of your stuff now as our first guest.
Yeah.
And when we make some merch, which should be coming really soon, we'll be sure to send you some hat or a polo. Not that you have to wear it when you're playing. I know that's not that. You have good style, so don't
listen. Don't follow.
do that. But seriously, it's been a pleasure, man. We enjoyed the journey, and we look forward to where everything takes you this season, next season, man. The sky's the limit, dude.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime,
Best
dude.
of luck.
We'll
Best
talk
of
soon.
luck. Seriously.
Thanks.
All right. And welcome back to the Scramble here, you guys. What an interview out of James. I mean, I think he's like the coolest guy I've ever met.
Yeah, I'm at like a loss for words.
I am fully convinced that he is going to be a PGA Tour player. His mental game, or just how he approaches life, never mind golf. I think
he's got
the confidence in himself.
He has
yeah.
a 100%. He has the it factor. I kind of like going into this, just every other podcast, it's like just chopping it up, shooting the shit. Like I was expecting it to be like sort of goofy, like talk around. That was like inspiring.
Yeah, dude. I like need to be like him, I think.
His answer to your question when, oh God, what did you say?
Was it the cutthroat thing?
No, because
that
we were
was a stupid
talking about
question.
like how much better those like top whatever.
Oh, yeah,
20
yeah.
people-
Oh, yeah,
and
that
he
was a great
goes,
answer.
He goes,
It
they're not
was.
that much better than me. It's what.
Yeah,
what
because I was like,
confidence he
when
has
you
in
watch it,
himself
is it as
awesome.
ridiculous for you as
And
it
he
is for us?
also,
He's like, no.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted him to say watching John Rahm is like out of this world. But I love that he was like, I mean, what, they
Yeah.
would beat me by like 4?
Yeah.
And then he's like, I play with the Corn Ferry Tour guys. I'm just as good as them. I got
the
that card.
kid Brandon Wu is legit now.
Yeah.
And I think he has more experience than James. Like James will be there, man.
I
The
100%
jump
fully believe it.
The jump up is coming.
Oh, absolutely.
Guys, third and drive.
Stand-up guy too. Couldn't have.
Oh
a
my
better
God, fantastic guy. I mean, multi-sport athlete in college. Does it all.
Absolute freak athlete.
Another answer that blew my mind was, what tournament would you want to win? And he just said he would like to represent the Olympics. He didn't pick a major. He wanted
US
to
of
be
A, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
He's an American.
I
love that.
To be an American. Dude, everything about that was awesome.
Yep.
Again, thank you to James. Fantastic. We can't wait to have him on again. He starts rattling off T10, T8s.
Yeah.
We're going to need an update. Kind of lethal that he gave me his phone number, so I'm gonna text him all the time or something.
oh, we're gonna have to take that phone away tomorrow.
Yeah, just delete all
James,
his
I hit a
content.
birdie.
We're 4 under through 3.
Yeah, I can't wait. Anyways, we got bigger things to talk about this week. There is a golf tournament.
Yeah. It's not as exciting as all the other ones. It's not as exciting as James, but we have the third ever 3M Open at TPC Twin Cities in Blaine, Minnesota, a little suburb right outside of Minneapolis there. I really tried to dive in because I usually like to see, like, there's always like an interesting tidbit about a course. Like the last one, James Bond played that course. This course is literally boring. Not anything cool about it. It opened in 2000. It was designed by Arnold Palmer and Tom Lehman. And I went deep into like the 3M's website, and they had this little tidbit. It was, what was once a peaceful sod farm is now a championship golf course. The TPC Twin Cities was transformed by Arnold Palmer and Tom Lehman from a flat landscape into one of Minnesota's premier golf designs. They sculpted over 5 million cubic yards of earth, created 27 bodies of water. That's actually impressive. They made the
Okay, I like that.
They made 27 bodies of open water and planted over 1 million wildflowers and restored natural wetlands.
Okay.
And then it says the end result is a golf course that will challenge the best players in the world. But I don't know if it will. I don't know if it will. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. And then the only other thing for history was, I guess, the two guys who've won here before, and it's Matt Wolff and Michael Thompson.
Note that they play two completely different styles of golf.
Yep. And note that Matt Wolff, at that time when he won, was, like we talked about earlier, up with Colin Morikawa and Victor Hovland to be the best golfer. And then Michael Thompson is, I still don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good putter.
Yeah.
Sure. All right.
What are we looking at
But for this
year?
year's 3M Open, the course is playing at a par 71, 7,441 yards. This is just, so going off the first year, year 2 is real similar. So I'm assuming year 3 will be the same. Lots of birdies and eagles. Jam leaderboard coming down the stretch. The course is pretty easy, so look for more of that.
Okay.
Be the hottest putter of the good approach players and avoid the twisted numbers by staying out of the water. That's pretty much it. People are going to be throwing darts. It's a ball striking week, which is all these birdie fests are. If you're putting it close to the pin, if you're the best putter out of those groups, you're going to win this. And like I said, there's 27 water hazards and there's 72 stand straps. Avoid the aqua and score a lot.
All right.
Easy. This course actually was a Champions Tour course for like a long time. They just started, like I said, 2 years ago. So they lengthened it by 300 yards, which
That doesn't seem like
over
that,
18 holes is not anything dramatic. They narrow the fairways a little bit, but not so much that they're hard to hit. The field hits about 65% of fairways, which is above the tour average, with the average driving distance being around 290 yards, which is one of the longest of the year. So it's an open, longer course. I guess the par 3s are tough. They're all pretty long, but you can gain so much on the short par 4s, and all the par 5s are they have a lot of eagle opportunities. Number 6, number 12, and number 18 are all par 5s with almost like 6 has like almost a 2% eagle rate, and the other ones have a 2 and 3% eagle rate. There's a lot of eagles.
So, like, what do you think we're gonna get to?
I think it's going to be like 22 or 23.
Jesus.
Even the harder tournaments, the trend has been they're scoring higher than we thought. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the 20s.
Okay.
I think it's definitely going to be in the 20s.
22
It's
and like,
been in the 20s about the past two.
but like going into Sunday, like the leaders at like
18. Yeah, I was
I wouldn't be
18 was the
surprised.
first number that came to my head. Yeah.
All right. And anything else on the course, Cam? Is that going to do it? We could take it into a
No, like I said, this is a pretty boring course. It was really like I had to go to the legit like event website to find out anything about this course.
I know usually for those of you listening at home, like the first thing on the sheet is what Cam puts like for the course like preview, and it's very detailed. And
Have you guys seen these bunkers?
Yeah, he'll text us like, "You're not going to believe this." Like,
Yeah, I get
we got-
excited about it.
all we got from Cam this week was like, "Yeah, I'm done with it. It's really it's not much."
No, literally not much. It's just they created this golf course. They wanted it to be hard. They didn't make it hard.
You're not that guy, pal. No. Now onto our Pin Golf course key stats. Visit www.pingolf.com and use promo code SCRAMBLE at checkout for $25 off your Ace rangefinder, which we will be using tomorrow in the rain, and it's freaking water resistant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, huge feature.
Huge feature. Yeah, Tim, take us in. What are you thinking this week?
I'm thinking approach. Well, again, so Matthew Wolff's a bomber. Michael Thompson is not. We've only had 2 tournaments. 2 completely different guys have won. Colin's been in the mix. He was in the mix in 2019. Bryson was in the mix in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all over the place. I'm going to go with approach, par 5 scoring, driving accuracy. Let's not put it in the water. Tim is prone to do that. I put up big numbers. I don't think they should be doing that.
Yeah, I like that. The crooked numbers.
Yeah. long irons, there's a lot of approach shots from like 175 to 200, especially that'll come into play on like par fives. And then I guess I'm going putting. I completely flipped the script.
Wow.
Did you have that in before I put my putter thing?
I had it in first.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
actually saw that, like, I think it was 47% of approach shots will come in from, like,
And the greens are
175 to
a
200.
little bit bigger than
Yeah.
tour average.
So with putting, you should maybe, if you want to, look at 3-putt avoidance because they're big.
And if you have the ability to look at proximity to the hole on approach, that's a good one.
Yeah, like when you're breaking it down, you guys at home, and you're trying to decide a bet on a matchup or like a top 20, and you have to decide between a few that you want to take. That's what you want to look at.
Yeah, those are the good differentiators.
And I just went. Oh, Cam, actually, you go ahead.
I'll go. I had all the same as Tim. The only thing I added was birdie or better. It's going to be a birdie fest. You need guys who can go low. If you like Louis, love Louis. Not a guy. He doesn't go low. He just stays even keeled, pars all the time. That's not going to win you the tournament. You got to have the ability to put it close and get low.
See, I initially ran my models here, and I thought, like, I'm going to do, like you guys said, off the tee, keep it in the fairway. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe this is just a week because it's a new tournament and people go low. It's going to be who's gaining strokes everywhere. Does it really matter where you're gaining your strokes? So I said strokes gained total, birdie or better. Cam, you sort of inspired me there. If we're going to be going low, you need a guy that knows how to knock in birdies, doesn't matter where. On a par 5, can you get that third shot within the hula hoop to tap in for 4? And the last thing I did hot putters. So I went on our Rick there, and I looked at, who's getting lucky, who's really rolling it. And that was sort of my deciding factor for some of my matchups, which we'll get into.
Wonderful. Do you want to should we start with outrights or do you want to start with matchups?
We could do outrights first, yeah, just to keep it traditional.
Yeah. Tim?
You want me to go first?
I do.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to start with the Gim Reaper, who I've been off and on for a few
Teach
weeks
me how to
now.
Dougie Gim.
65 to 1. Big time birdie guys, Doug Gim. I hate even talking about putting because of how staunch I was against it for like 12 weeks, but
For like a really long time.
talk about guys who putt well on this bent grass, Doug Gim. And that is by far his worst statistic. Doug Gim is losing like a stroke putting. He has forever. If he can put
Not
together
this
a good putting week, he's
Not up in
one of the
here.
best approach players in the field. 65 to 1, I'll take it. And I will mention I didn't look at anyone under 30 to 1. There's so many. This has random winner written all over.
I
it.
have my random winner. I'll give you the random winner.
Do you have any more, Tim, or is that it?
Yeah, I got 2 more. So
Okay.
I got Emiliano Grillo.
Okay.
It's probably going to be a pretty popular pick in the world of golf betting. He is playing very well. He didn't make a run last week, but he was around.
He's hanging.
Yeah. One of the best, in terms of recent form, approach players in the field. I love that 35 to 1. And then I got Patton Kizzire. I did a whole spiel on him like 2 weeks ago. He's playing consistently good golf. There's like a pool of guys, right? Like Luke List,
Yep.
Patton Kizzire, Hank Labiota. All these guys have been playing really well. Patton Kizzire has fallen to the bottom of that list,
He's
which
pretty
is the
volatile.
65 to 1 number. He's very volatile, but I'll take volatile in a tournament where you got to win
Yeah.
at 22 under.
Speaking of volatile, you know who's playing this week? Matt Every,
Oh, God.
Oh.
which is, I don't know, those of you at home, that guy has broken clubs and withdrawn from tournaments in the last couple of
He
weeks.
just broke a club
He's
last
crazy.
week.
Yeah, that guy's a psycho.
Guy's awesome. So keep an eye on Matt Every. I didn't bet on him for that reason because he might not finish the tournament. But,
Yeah.
What do you got, Cam?
I have 4.
My goodness.
I'll go Maverick McNeely.
Love
number one,
Mav.
50 to 1. He's sort of a bomber.
Yeah.
This course is pretty open. I got this was my one feel pick.
Okay.
I have 3 like that I use numbers to actually be like, all right, this guy's a chance. This is straight up narrative street. Eric Van Rooyen.
EVR?
EVR. Now listen, apparently this is where his in-laws are from.
I know what you're feeling. You're feeling sick.
Okay, I'll finish. This is where his in-laws are from.
Okay.
And last time out, he laid a big fucking egg.
He's going to want to get away from them. So
He
he's
laid
gonna
a big fucking egg.
You're reaching.
I know I'm reaching. I prefaced
He
this
did.
pick
He did
with
say.
it being narrative street.
Yeah.
If he wants his in-laws to like him, he does not do what he did last time.
Okay.
That's where my logic is. Again, we're going back to like the manly thing. If you're a man, and your dad says, "Buddy, you stink at golf," and
You listen to punk music and paint your nails black. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, I don't." And he goes out, he plays a tournament in that guy's hometown, and then he stinks. And he comes back, he's like, "I'll still beat you. Don't touch my daughter."
Yeah.
Now he's got to come over and be like, "Hey, look at drop the trophy and
That's
leave."
right. All right.
130-1, because that would also be a beautiful payout
Jesus.
for the.
I don't think we need Cam to hit another 100.
And then I got Ryan Moore, which is my below 30-1. He's 65-1. I ran a bunch of models, and he finished in number 1 and 3 of them, and then in the top 10 the rest of them. And like I weighted in my model, I weighted these things out like differently. What I thought would be more important. He's 14th in the field strokes gained approach on courses that are 7,400 yards or more. He's gained the second most opportunities. He's number 22 in par 5 scoring. He's gained good drives gained, which is strokes gained off the tee and driving accuracy. He's number 4. He's 30 in all those proximities. Then the deep one, and then 200 plus, he's 7th. And his one, I guess you could say, like bad attribute as of late is in the putter. He's still number 58. It's not terrible, but the only type of grass that he gains the most on is bent grass, which these are. So I like just statistically him to 65-1. I love that. And then I'm just going with Tony Finau, 14-1.
All right. I mean, what are we going to say? It's a good money pick. Like, he's going to be in the hunt, I think.
He better be in the hunt.
So
friggin' better.
My only outright for half a unit, plus 25-1, is Cam Tringali.
Yep.
And that's just
Love
because
him.
I think he's right here. He's just, for this tournament, he's just steady Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
He's just got it all.
I like it.
I actually didn't say that, but it is on mine.
Okay,
Sorry.
yeah,
I misread. I had 5.
So Cam, yeah, I think that's the only one I had. So we'll move on to the next topic. What do you guys got?
Do we have any top 10s?
Andy?
No.
All right, good.
No.
Any
All right,
top
good.
20s?
Top 20s.
I do have top 20s.
All right. Patton Kazire, I'm riding that. Plus 230. My next pick is going to get a lot of oohs and ahs from my co-host, Cam Champ.
I mean,
Ooh.
Plus 600. Here we go.
He's just...
Here, what? Give me a second. Hold on.
I texted Tim yesterday, and I was like, "Are you taking him outright?"
John Deere Classic.
Okay.
This is the first time he has gained strokes in like 3 months, and he gained 8 of them. This is the most important part.
Okay.
Almost 3 of them were putting.
Okay.
That's good. How were his approach?
Here were his last 5 events.
I raised
putting.
you one more. Okay.
All right. No, wait. Go ahead.
My question to you is, that's one tournament. Mm-hmm. Is that enough?
I want to be early than late because plus 600 on Cam Champ is.
I actually don't.
Top 20 is.
I don't hate that play. I really don't, which is kind of annoying.
I know, same,
but I
but
don't hate it.
The last time, this is the most strokes gained he's had total since the PGA Championship.
Okay.
In May of 2020.
look, I'll give you this. You backed it up.
So
Yeah, fine.
Plus 600, 6-1. Take that flyer. I know. Listen, a lot of you guys have been fading me because I might not be, as of right now, the best golf bettor in the world. But I want you to bet this because it happens more than once
Yep,
every
jump
6
on that
times.
train.
Jump on that
Remember
train.
the Cantlay train. Remember that train.
And that's all I got for top 20s.
Okay.
I have none.
I have 4. Cam Tringali, just to kind of get it in. He's gaining strokes everywhere. He's got a great birdie or better percentage. I like his chances, plus 120. Cam Davis. Not that he's going to win,
Ooh, he could win.
but good recent form. He's hot right now. What I put is he's Hansel. He's really hot right now. He's gaining strokes off the tee, approach, and putting for the first time in his career, all 3. Hi. Thanks. Plus 170. The next man who just suffered a tough loss is the postman. JT. What?
Nobody was really paying attention to that tournament, obviously, but rough.
Rough, but he played good.
So good.
He's
That's
a
why it
long
was
shot.
rough.
His putting has been actually insane. He's actually insane on the greens. Bananas. And his birdie or better percentage is good, and he's completely average in every other category.
I
Like
actually love that pick.
plus 330, top 20.
Wow. Adding.
My last one is a guy Cam and I spoke briefly about pre-show is Mito Pereira. Chilean, plus 280. He's a Korn Ferry Tour guy until now because he got his card. He T34 at John Deere, T5 at Barbasol. He's won many times on the Korn Ferry Tour, most recently in June. So he's here, and he gained 10 strokes last week on the field.
Pretty good.
So I said, all right, plus 280. Yeah, just give me a top 20, Mito. And me, you, and me too will win money.
Oh, okay.
Other than that, I just have matchups.
I have top 40s.
Okay, fire away.
Do you have top 40s, Tim?
Yeah, I do.
All right, so my first one is Maverick, minus 140. I already told you about Maverick. I got Ryan Moore. That's even. Told you about him. Tim told you I have Doug Gim.
I
Gave you a
also
little
do.
spiel on the Gim Reaper.
Damn, I feel bad I'm not in on the Dougie. Teach me how to Dougie.
I got Mito top 40 plus 110.
Hell
I'm a big
yeah.
Mito guy. And then the other one I have is Tom Lewis. Tom Lewis has gained strokes in the last 4 tournaments. The only like bad thing that he's not like good at is around the green. I don't think that matters this week
Irrelevant.
at all. He's great off the tee. He's good in approach, and he's a good putter. Last week he gained 5.18 strokes putting.
Yeah.
Just as a flyer, top 40. He's made 4 cuts in a row. He's playing good golf. He can bomb it, and I like his opportunity here.
Awesome. Here we go. Gim, even. Champ, plus 175, top 40.
Can't hear you. There you go.
You can't hear me?
There you go.
Yeah, you got
now?
to talking
better
to the
now.
heart
Talking to
there,
the
big
heart.
dog.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Good.
Okay,
Good.
wonderful. Doug Gim, even. Cam Champ, plus 175. If you like them at top 20, plus 600, you're going to love them, plus 175, top 40. Adam Shank.
I feel like that's just.
Oh, I like Adam Shank this
I feel
week.
like that top 40 was just a makeup in case he doesn't make the top 20.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
I cannot comment on that. Adam Shank rated out 5th in my model. This is a model pick, guys. Not
Yeah,
a lot to it. It's a
nothing wrong with
numbers
those. Nothing wrong with model picks.
And that's what I got.
Why
for
male
top
modeling?
40.
That's my second Zoolander reference today. Jesus.
That's okay.
Did you just watch it?
No.
What was the first one?
That's Hansel. He's really hot right now. Oh, no, I think it's like, that's Hansel. He's so hot right now. Yeah.
Great movie.
All right, matchups. You want me to get it started? And then you guys
You are
take
the
me into
matchup
the
guy.
night. Self-proclaimed. First one, high profile, DJ over Patrick Reed. It's because DJ is playing a little bit bad, and Patrick Reed stunk on approach last week on an easier greens week, minus 135. What do you guys think?
I don't hate it.
Okay, I mean, it's definitely a little reach, but I have to have one like big matchup.
I had one.
Bobby Mack over Sergio.
I saw that.
This is purely just based on form right now because Bobby Mack played very well last week.
Yeah, I did. The only reason I didn't take that was because I didn't know how they both would come back over to the States, how that would work out.
Oh, okay. You got a good point there. JT Poston over Pat Rogers. Pat Rogers, sorry, man. I'm sure you're a great dude. You just stink right now. Minus 120. Not on approach for JT Poston as like not his best, but off the tee and putting is great. Michael Thompson over Adam Hadwin. MT has won here, and Adam Hadwin can't. I can't even read my own handwriting. He can't.
He can't play well.
He
I
can't
can tell you that.
play. He's not. He can't get hot right now. Is what I put.
He was hot for like 2 weeks, 6 weeks ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And then fell off.
Yeah, and my last one is friend of the program that Cam still hasn't gotten to come on the podcast, Matt Neesmith.
I loved him this week.
Because he's a great. Not only does he have pretty good approach and putting numbers, he's one of the best on this grass.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you see that? He's on the top of the chart.
I don't know if Tim was watching me. I had him
top
top
40.
40 and I deleted it. Right
I'm going to
before the
add
show
him top
started.
40. I don't know
Should I
what
put
the
it back
odds are.
on?
Do you know what the odds were?
They were plus 225, I believe.
All right, perfect.
And then I got him over Ryan Armour, and that's minus 110. Matt Neesmith is a grass specialist, and Ryan Armour in every category is a little bit below average. So I just said he's eh. So I said I think Matt can outlast him.
All right. Tim, do you have any? You want me to go?
I have no matchups. I have 2 more bets that are
I'll-
like props.
I'll go. I have Roger Sloan over Matt Kuchar, plus 145.
Yeah, bet it fade Kuchar.
This is an entirely fade Kuchar move here. This course is like decently long. It's not too long. I don't think he can overpower this. So I'm out on Matt Kuchar this week. Roger Sloan over him, plus 145. I got Dustin Johnson over Louis, minus 1.5,
Oh, I wish I had that one.
plus 115. This is a strictly fade Louis mental game
Okay,
here. DJ has been playing pretty well.
give it to him.
I'll even give him this. I had zero expectations of him to play in this tournament.
Same.
And the fact that he's playing in it means maybe he found something he wants to.
I think DJ will drop out by the time this tournament starts.
Really?
Nope. Dude, what is he? Why is he playing?
Maybe he found something. Maybe he wants to
he's
work
trying
on
to get
something.
better, man. He's in a slump.
Yeah. I got Hank Leviota plus 1.5 strokes over Emiliano Grillo.
Just has to lose by 1.
Just has to lose by 1. Hammer and Hank has been on fire. You can't even deny that. Can't even deny it. He's been
What's
playing
that
great
smell?
golf.
What's that smell in here?
I cannot wait for Emiliano Grillo to miss the cut this week. So bad. He just played. Oh, he played a great Open Championship. That's awesome. But he's not going to play well this week.
Okay.
And then my last one is now that I just attacked Tim. I'm back on Tim's team. Cam Champ over James Hahn, plus 113.
Oh.
I had to get. I don't know. I get these weird feelings. I'm like, I don't know. Cam Champ might play well this week.
He might. What's his outright number?
I mean, it can't be good.
It's actually
130 to 1.
no, it's lower than that.
I'll find
But
out.
James Hahn has been playing good golf. Cam Champ is plus 113 to just money line beat him. I actually think Cam Champ does play well this week. Taking him over James Hahn.
150 to 1 added.
Tim is adding bets left and right.
Added.
Yeah, jeez, huh?
Well, I was gonna go with a small card, but that's not fun for anybody.
I actually was doing this out, and I was gonna make a small card, and then I was looking at the names that I was picking to bet, and I was like, this could be a goose egg.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna be the first one to eat one of those. It's not happening. So I go by sheer volume.
Because
I
we
will
can't
at least
find one.
by sheer volume. I will not win one.
I'm so sweaty right now.
I'm
just basking in my sweat.
Melting.
Yeah.
Like melting.
This is a long pod.
Yeah. That's all right.
It's all right.
I got 2 more bets for you
All right.
guys.
All right.
They're both wicked good, they're very good odds.
Justin wants to kill us.
I have 2 miscut bets. Players 2
Oh
miscut.
no!
Hey, maybe this could be like your thing. Bro.
I think it is. Because
Okay.
I get these.
I agree with one of
Let's.
them.
Bryson was diabolically close to missing this cut.
I support you. On
Par
that.
putt
That was
on
good.
18th to salvage. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. But that's not important. What's important is that 2 guys have a chance to miss the cut this week. One of them is Louis Oosthuizen, plus 350.
Completely agree with that.
You can't.
Wow.
There's a
Wow.
Louis Oosthuizen does not have the mental game of James Nicklaus. How about that?
I don't
He
think-
could take a note from James.
Yeah, you should.
Most people could. But how long can we keep this game up? Eventually, it's going to take a toll on your mental.
I faded him big time.
Yeah. So plus 350.
I don't hate that.
The other one is ambitious.
It's very ambitious with this field that we
Okay.
have.
Okay.
Dustin Johnson to miss the cut.
Okay.
Plus 450.
Okay.
Now
Listen.
All right.
I just feel like
Listen
you're
up.
throwing away units.
Listen up. One of these is going to hit. One of them.
And you'll make your money.
I guarantee it.
What? Okay.
Let's break this down.
This is I want to
think
break
that
this
I've
down.
broken
This
Andy.
is the last thing we're talking about before we
think
wrap
I've
this up,
broken
you guys. It's been long. You've been listening for a long time now. We appreciate that. My thought is with Cam here. He's playing in this for a reason.
Yes.
I think last week, despite him not playing well, spraying it, I think that's a confidence booster that he's able to put together a top 20 there.
He
think
played
it's
poor and
desperation.
he played poor and he was T8.
Yeah.
I think it's desperation. The
Okay.
same way that Louis playing this week is desperation.
in this course, he finds fairways, my man's.
But when he doesn't,
But he
But he's gonna.
what was it? What tournament was it like last year?
Tim, let me help you.
Wait, no. He was super easy course. Everyone was like, DJ's going to win this tournament.
He did
and
win
he
one,
shot
but-
like 79, 80 back to back.
That was actually, I believe, this tournament.
Was it?
I don't know.
It actually might
Is
be.
that? We can't verify
I'll
this.
look this up
But
right now.
I do know that on an easy course like at TPC Boston, he finished at 28 under.
Sure.
So
He can do that.
Okay.
I think that he's trying to find something, and I'll take the odds that
That
one
was
out of every
the-
4 times that he's trying to find something.
So that was at he won. He came in 12th, and then the withdraw from the 3M Open.
3M Open.
He withdrew at the
He
3M
lost
Open.
8 strokes.
And then the next
8.
and then the next week, win second, win T6, T2,
So here's
win
the plan. We're
T11,
gonna
T8.
fade him this week. We're gonna fade him this week, and then
And
we're
then
gonna
hammer him next week.
Dude, it went 1-12 withdraw from this tournament. 1-2, 1, 6-2, 1, 11, 8, 1.
He lost 7 strokes on approach.
Yeah, but then the week after that gained 23 strokes. The week after that gained 11. 2 weeks later gained another
I'm
11.
so
Then
confident on
13,
this
then
He's
18.
fine.
This might make its way
Oh no.
into the jacket pick.
All right, perfect
No,
segue.
no, I
That's
won't do
Tim's
that.
jacket
right.
pick is
My
Dustin
jacket
Johnson.
pick-
to
My
miss it.
jacket pick is Sergio Garcia, top 20 from left field.
Tim, you're going wild over here.
Sergio Garcia top 20. I won't give an explanation.
Okay.
Just bet it.
Okay.
Ugh.
Just bet it.
That gives me the stink face.
Well, that's life.
Disgusting.
Sometimes you got to do things you don't enjoy for success.
Okay. I actually accidentally said mine. Mine's Maverick McNeely top 40.
Okay, so I won't put that on the card, but on the show, people hear that one. My jacket pick is Scott Stallings over Sam Ryder, minus 115. My rationale, you ask? Scott Stallings is gaining a significant amount of strokes off the tee on approach and putting. Sam Ryder, however, is not. His strokes gain total is actually negative in his last 8 events.
Not good.
Yeah, not good. Which is why I think that matchup is no-brainer. Scott Stallings he hits the ball pretty damn far. He's big, he's jacked, he's like a CrossFit guy. That's my jacket pick. I think that's just a no-brainer. Ryder might not even make the cut. You might make your jacket pick money on Friday.
That'd be huge.
How's that sound? Happy weekend. Here's your jacket pick money.
Could lose jacket pick money on Friday,
Yeah,
too.
or lose
Sergio
it.
Garcia.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, or, whatever.
He's got to putt well.
Fellas, this was by far our longest episode, but that is because you guys are going to hear a fantastic interview with James. We're going to get all this stuff out on social media, hopefully early in the morning before we embark on a Scramble tournament in the rain.
Can't wait. Going low.
Should be a good time.
What do
Tim-
you
Tim's
guys
getting a
actually
hole in
think
one.
We're gonna hit. What do you guys think we're gonna hit for number? Like honestly.
Gun to my head?
Yes.
11.
Yeah, 11.
If you put a gun to my head and said, you guys get to this number,
It's-
you die, 11.
It's 11. We're not going to bogey anything, but we're not. There's going to be a couple like 10-footers that we don't hit.
11.
It's
I
gonna be
think
11.
11 is fair.
The goal is 13.
The goal is 18.
The goal is 18.
The goal is 18.
Fellas, don't forget to follow us on social media, on Instagram at The Scramble Pod and on Twitter at Scramble_pod. Go follow at James Nicholas Golf. And he'll be reposting our stuff. We'll be tagging him and stuff, so go follow him. He's a fantastic follow, especially for someone who golfs, is looking for some drills, looking for some inspiration. You've learned this just like we have. He's a fantastic human being. He's super motivated, and he's got it.
Yep.
That'll do it for episode 15. You know what to do, fellas. Take me out.
Later.
Bye.